Low intelligence doesn't show up in grades or IQ scores. It shows up in tiny habits you never question. And here, the unsettling part, these habits don't just make you look less sharp. Over time, they actually rewire your brain to think worse. Start with magical thinking, lucky socks, avoiding cracks in the sidewalk, a color that brings money. It feels harmless, even charming, but psychologists call it what it is, confusing coincidence with cause. One good outcome after a random ritual, and your brain welds the two together forever. Real intelligence stops and asks, where's the evidence? A weaker mind skips that question entirely. Then there's sleep. Bragging about 4 hours a night, scrolling until 3 a.m., dragging yourself up like a zombie, that's not toughness, it's sabotage. One bad night of sleep and your brain performs like it's mildly drunk. Worse memory, worse focus, worse judgment. Sharp people protect sleep like it's their most valuable asset because it is. Notice how some people can't sit in silence. No phone, no noise, no distraction, and they spiral. Psychology links that discomfort to weaker mental processing. A strong mind uses quiet to think. A weak one runs from it, because silence means being alone with your own thoughts. Watch how people talk, too. Some can fill an hour with weather and traffic and never once say anything worth remembering. That's not just small talk, it's low need for cognition, a documented aversion to actual thinking. Sharp minds crave ideas. Dull ones default to filler. Then there's the loudest person in the room, the one who interrupts, explains things they don't understand and talks like an expert with nothing behind it. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect in real time. The less someone knows, the more certain they sound. Real intelligence says, I don't know, and asks the next question. Fake intelligence just gets louder. Some people follow instructions off a cliff, screwing into thin air because the manual said so, eating undercooked food because the recipe said 20 minutes. That's not discipline, that's mental laziness dressed up as obedience. Smart people notice when reality contradicts the plan and adjust. Conspiracies and superstitions work the same way. They're the brain taking a shortcut, trading evidence for a simple, dramatic story. And rigid thinking is its close cousin, rejecting new tools or ideas not because they're wrong, but because they're unfamiliar. Life doesn't reward, that's not how we do things. It punishes it. Instant gratification is the quiet killer. Every scroll, snack, and swipe trains your brain to dodge effort and lose patience. The marshmallow test proved kids who couldn't delay reward struggled for decades afterward. Discomfort now buys results later. Skipping that trade is how people stay stuck. Poor listening is a tell too, interrupting, nodding without absorbing, tuning out. Listening is cognitive work. It forces your brain to process a view that isn't yours. People who can't keep up with complexity check out instead. And the reflexive, that'll never work, said before any real thought, isn't wisdom, it's avoidance wearing a confident voice. Doom scrolling, chasing every trend, gaming for hours without ever improving. These aren't separate problems, they're the same one. Hours passing with zero reflection. Time spent isn't growth, only reflection is. None of this is about how you were born. It's about which of these habits you repeat without noticing, and which ones you're finally ready to break.